Alright, my house seems to suffer from stiff taps. I have fixed this one before in the past. I'm going to do some more videos about fixing taps. I'm going to start using Loctite. I don't have any Loctite today, but I think Loctite will basically mean that you can kind of do this fix and not have to come back so often to kind of, or come back often to sort of redo the fix. First of all, I'll show you the situation. I'm kind of turning this quite hard in order to get this water. So that looks pretty good, but the problem is, like, you know, weaker people, or, you know, people whose children, for example, are having problems. Actually, this is quite stiff, this tap. You can really feel the stiffness, whereas this cold tap, which you can't, which is at a shot, actually turns quite easily. So this is quite stiff. So basically what's happening is the turning on and off has tightened the tap up over time. So first thing I'm going to go and do is turn off the water to the house. There's a stopcock often underneath the kind of kitchen sink, so I'll go and turn the water off, and then I'll work on this. Okay, I'll go and do that first. Okay, so I've turned off the water to the house. Next thing I'm going to do is actually put the plug into the sink. That way, if anything springs off or falls off, it doesn't end up going down the sink, which is a real pain. So what I'll do is, sometimes you have to leverage the tops off these taps, maybe with a flathead screwdriver. This one actually unscrews. Off it comes. It's going to take a flathead screwdriver. Take that off. Alright, now I'm going to go and get a wrench or spanner. So I'm sort of taking the body of the tap out now, and as I say, I definitely have turned the water off to this, because otherwise you would have a real gush of water at this point. That's just leaking a little bit of water that's left in the kind of in the system. And luckily for me, I realised I've turned the cold water off, but there's still a lot of hot water pressure in the house. I'm really fortunate. Actually, underneath my sink, there's a I can sort of cut the hot water off specifically to this tap here. So I'm just going to turn a screw here, because even though I've cut the cold water off, there's still a lot of pressure in the hot system, and I realise actually that is going to be the case. I'll keep on turning this until I look like I'm... There we are. Whoops. Okay, so what's happened is I've taken the flathead screwdriver and I've turned off luckily I've got a means of turning the hot water off just underneath the tap down here, which is just out of shot, but I'll put some film in to show that. Okay, like I say, I'm fortunate with this tap. So I've got the hot water tap on at the moment. And underneath here, I'm able to get a screwdriver in here, which I'm doing with my left hand. So I'll just change hands. So basically, I'm able to, when I'm able to turn this, I'm then able to turn this tap off. Which I've just achieved. So the tap's off. Now I've turned it back on. So I'm able to just turn it on and off back here, which is useful because with a hot tap sometimes you just have to kind of run it until the system is empty, but with mine I can just isolate it here. And then that allows you to do the disassembly of the tap as I was showing. Okay, cool. Okay, so I can unscrew this now. So what I'm going to do is there's a little spring in here, a little clip rather, that I need to get off. So what I'm going to try and do is get this little clip off. I always give people a warning about their fingers on this. Right, there we are. I've got the little clip off. So this is the little clip. I'll put this to the side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give it a little tap up here, and then that should spring out. Right, so that's that. So I'll put that to the side. Alright, so the situation is this thing becomes unscrewed over time, so all turning on and off means that this moves up. So we really need to screw that back right down into there. So down it goes. Reassemble that. I want to get that clip back in. Alright, I've got the clip on. Tighten that back up. There we go. Tighten the top of the tap on. I'm just going to screw that into that like that. I'll get that flathead screwdriver. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'll put some film in of what I'm actually going to do, but there's a screw just underneath my tap, which means I can turn the hot water back onto this tap. So what I'll do now is turn the cold water onto the house. That'll kind of put the pressure back into the system where we should have a fixed tap. Okay, so I've turned the cold water back on. Whoa, there it goes. So that's actually a lot easier now. So I've put the pressure back in by putting the cold water on. The hot water or screw under here is turned on, and let's just see now. I really don't have to use much pressure now, and I actually get a much better flow. So that kind of illustrates, really, you know, it only takes a few minutes. You don't have to call out a plumber. It just takes some simple tools, and now, you know, that's not a stiff tap anymore. Okay, cool. Thanks very much.